Hi guys, well today I'm talking all about the Juvederm filler that I've had for my acne scarring. As most of you know that watch me on a regular basis, this is something you know that I've dealt with off and on, is having the rolling acne scars around my chin area. I've mentioned before that I've gotten filler for it from time to time. A little backstory if you're not familiar is in my mid-20s I suffered with some cystic acne that left me with some scarring. As I've gotten older, of course, you have that collagen breakdown where the acne scarring was. As you get older, it just draws more attention to it as you start the aging process. So I've definitely over the last several years been noticing it more. So finally in June of 2013 is when I had my first procedure, wanted to just get things going. I know there's like lasers, especially Fraxel, and even heavier lasers that you can do under anesthesia, but I just really wasn't looking to spend that kind of money. It is very expensive, and to have that kind of downtime. So I thought, you know what? Juvederm is very instantaneous. You see immediate results and it lasts a while, so let me go that route. I do go to a plastic surgeon. I've mentioned that before. I do get Botox and Juvederm at their office. If you've seen my other video where I had the Juvederm for under eyes video, it's the same doctor that I go to. So I know a lot of people have questions, so I actually brought out my receipts here so I wouldn't forget to tell you. A lot of people want to know cost. Now, keep in mind it's going to be different no matter, you know, what area you live in. So that's something to always keep in mind. So what I paid may not be what you pay. So for a syringe of Juvederm, my doctor charges $585. Now I do get a discount if I buy more than one. So for instance, if I buy a second syringe of Juvederm, it only costs me $360. And then for Botox, for instance, it's $11 per unit at my doctor. Again, that's going to be all over the board. It may be more money, it may be less. You can always just call your local dermatologist or plastic surgeon's office to ask them what they charge. And then of course, once you have your consultation, that's when your doctor will determine how much filler you may need for your particular area. Now, like I said, the first time that I got Juvederm was in June of 2012. I ended up getting 2 syringes, and I'm going to insert some pictures here of what my scarring looked like before. And then of course you're watching this video so you see where I am to date. I feel like I've had really great results. It's one of those, each time I've gotten it, I really like the results. There was maybe a little touch-up time after the first one, or between like maybe the first and second, where you start correcting areas, and then it may just make the area next to it look bad. I remember saying that at one time, and that's fine. You may have that, especially if you have the extent of scarring that I do. If you're someone who just has like a few little areas, then you know it's not going to be that noticeable. You'll be able to touch those areas up and it'll look fine. With me, I had so much that I would fix one area and I would feel like, okay, now the side of it, it just makes that look bad. But that's just something I knew I kind of had to work through. And some of you may be familiar with an earlier video I did, but I felt like I was all over the place in that video and my accent really came out and it was just really hard to watch. So I thought, you know what, I really need to do an updated video. So I'm going to insert the picture here. Again, this was the before picture, so you can totally see all my scarring. And of course, this was a, you know, really high quality camera at the doctor's office. These are their pictures. She was kind enough to print them off for me a long time ago. So you can see, especially on that one side, I have a lot of scarring. And so that area really needed the most filling up at first. So that was the area we concentrated on at first. And then as I went back, it was just going for touch-ups all along the rest of the chin area. Now, I do still to this day have some scarring out here because this is an area we've really never did a whole lot with because we were always focusing right here. So I don't know if I'm, you know, missing some receipts or not. I probably am, is my guess. But I would say I probably go about every 6 months to a year for a touch-up. It's just whenever I feel like I'm needing it. So I went, you know, in 2012. I don't have anything for 2013, but I'm sure I went because I think I've gotten some touch-up at least once a year. And then I just went this past November and I got 2 syringes of Juvederm. So again, that's just something you're gonna need to talk with your doctor. I kind of let him know, these are the areas I'm concerned about. And then he'll let me know, okay, I can do that with 1 syringe, or no, you need 2. And so I'll just say, okay, go ahead and do what you think, because you want to even out too. You don't want to just kind of work on one area and make the other look bad. So he'll kind of work on the areas that I'm concerned with at the time, and then he'll spread it out where he sees everything to look, you know, try to make everything look as even as possible. Now I have had a tiny bit right here, but I don't feel like it lasted as long right there, or maybe, you know, my skin's just aging more right there. Again, what I had under the eyes, and people often ask me how many in that video did I have, 1 syringe or 2? I believe just 1, but honestly, I think I had other things done that time, that so he spread it out everywhere, so I honestly couldn't tell you specific under the eyes. I just know I have not had another touch-up under the eyes since that original video I made. I know that was done a couple of years ago in October is when I originally had it done. If you want to see that video for more specifics, I'll link it below. So that's just kind of the mindset when I go in, I'm starting to see some things, I need some things touched up. Again, I'll explain to the nurse and to the doctor what I'm looking for, and then obviously he gives his expert opinion on what he can do or what he thinks we should do. So this next picture I'm going to show you, this was in May of 2014, and I would say, even though I've had little touch-ups here and there, I would say this picture, or I'm sorry, I think it's June of 2014. This picture kind of still looks where I'm at today, even though, again, I've had little touch-ups, little things come up here and there. So I think this looks, compared to the first picture, you can see, I think it looks really good. It's really evened out the whole chin area. Sure, there are still some marks here and there. Overall, I just feel like the result has been absolutely fantastic. For me, just looking in the mirror every day, putting on makeup, being on YouTube, recording myself, obviously I probably pick myself apart a little more because I am seeing myself on film a lot, but I feel like that's really helped to see the improvement too. Like, I'm not constantly noticing those acne scars. I feel like where I really notice them sometimes is in a photo, or if I'm in really harsh direct sunlight, and when I'm talking. That's when I really notice. If I'm just sitting, you know, it's fine. It's when I'm smiling for a photo that it really brings it out kind of in here still, or when I'm talking, because I'm very, you know, I have a lot of facial expressions when I talk, so you will sometimes see those. The area that still bothers me now, and I really just don't know, this is probably part of the aging process, is sometimes when I talk, I feel like it will make it look, I don't know, almost like a jowl kind of here starting. We've filled up in here a little bit, and I'm almost wondering if I got a little filler in my cheek, would that help raise that a little? So that's one of the areas that I still kind of notice. You can see it kind of go down, and I still have to get quite a bit each time, not a lot, but I mean like little touch-ups around my mouth a lot, because I still break out right there, and then of course again that'll just make a scar. So I feel like I'm always getting little touch-ups. So the next photo you're seeing is just as of a couple of days ago where I'm at. The last time I got filler again was in November. We did, you know, quite a bit, again just touching up little areas, you know, wherever they need evening out and wherever it will look the most even, so I'm not just working on one side or the other. So that was a few months ago. And again, I feel like even though I keep touching up little areas, I almost feel like I'm to the point the filler has taken me as far as it can. You know, now I'm gonna need kind of some resurfacing lasers, some other treatments to really just even out the rest of my skin for those texture issues. We are, however, going to put a little bit at the top of my lips. Not only will it give me some fullness, I've lost some fullness over the years, and when I had braces, my lips and my mouth, my profile kind of changed, I've mentioned, so now my lips are a little uneven. But I am starting to see some fine lines up here. No real acne scarring up here, but that is something we're eventually gonna probably work on for the next time. So you can really see from the before to now. So that's been, you know, several years. And again, I only get it once, maybe twice a year update, you know. I feel like there's been a huge improvement. So I basically just wanted to make this video for those of you that are curious about it, want to know if it works, want to know the price. It does work, and especially I feel like if it is in this area, the chin area, I feel like can really be filled out and help with Juvederm. Even if you have it on the cheek area, which I'm fortunate that not a lot of mine is over here, it does kind of spread to right here. And I do feel like sometimes I need some additional work right here. But I've been extremely happy with the results. And to me, the money has been worth every penny. It's one of those, every time I come home from visiting the doctor, no matter how much, you know, I paid that time, if I needed, you know, a couple of syringes and it was a lot of money, I come home and I see results. And to me, that's worth it. It's like, oh, now I feel like that's why I went. I look better. It's getting rid of them. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. It depends how often you want to go, how much money you want to spend. I feel very vulnerable showing these before pictures, that's for sure. At the same time, if it's gonna help somebody, I don't mind putting it out there. And I don't mind putting it out there because now you see what I'm working with now. You see that it has helped me for sure. I mean, I'm so grateful that I've had this done and that I found a great doctor to do it. So I hope that answered most of your questions. I know on my last video when I did the Juvederm for under eyes, I got a lot of questions asking who my doctor was. I didn't put it out there just because if you don't live in Alabama, it really wouldn't matter, you know, who the doctor was. So I do go to Dunnigan, Yates, and Allison here in the Huntsville area. So if you live in the area, you have any questions, let me know, but that's definitely who I recommend. No, I'm not being compensated by them at all. They don't even know I'm making the video or recommending them. I just thought since I got so many questions about the Juvederm under eyes, people wanted to know. I hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Definitely leave me a comment below. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.